Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech. In this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to see how you can send your files, folders with the help of SSH on your remote server or on your remote machine. Okay, so before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much and just let's start. So friends, I have here a two machine. One is our Raspberry Pi 4 machine and another machine is my VirtualBox machine, which is the Ubuntu latest version, Ubuntu Hippo, which is 21.04. okay, so this is what the Ubuntu machine. As you can see, Freedom Tech hyphen VirtualBox. If I run the if config command here, as you can see, the Ubuntu machine IP address is 192.168.0.107, and this is what our Pi machine, Raspberry Pi 4, if config command, and the Raspberry Pi 4 machine is the IP address 192.168.0.105. okay, so this is what the IP address is. Okay, now as I told you, we are going to see how to send file to Raspberry Pi 4 machine to our Ubuntu machine using SSH. For that, first you need to configure the SSH service on both sides. I have already configured the SSH service, and both side means on Ubuntu also SSH is running, also the Raspberry Pi 4 Raspberry OS SSH is running. Let's start. I have configured the both side SSH service and the service is running. Now I am going to create here a file. First we are going to send the file with the help of scp command. This is what the command. With the help of this command we are going to send the file through our SSH service. So let's just first create the file. So I am going to create here a file, simple sudo nano test1.py. let's create a Python file, and I am going to mention here, let's say print hello world. This is what the file. Okay, Ctrl X, Y, enter, save. Now this file I want to send on my remote machine, which is our Ubuntu machine. So how to send it? Simple. You need to know, I'm going to first clear the screen on our Ubuntu machine. This is what our Ubuntu machine. Okay, so you need to first know the IP address. We know the IP address if config command 192.168.0.107. this is what our Ubuntu machine IP address. Then you need to know the user which you log in with. Okay, so in this case, as you can see, I am logging with the Freedom Tech user. So this is what the user. Okay, Freedom Tech. Now we are going to send our file to our Ubuntu machine. So sudo scp, this is what the command, then Ubuntu machine username. As I told you, this is what our username, Freedom Tech. Simply mention the username. In your case, of course, it different. Okay, so mention the username first, Freedom Tech, then @ then we need to mention the IP address of our remote machine. In this case, we have our Ubuntu machine IP address 192.168.0.107. so simply mention it, 192.168.0.107. that's it. Now press the shift colon, like this way, press shift colon. Then you need to mention the path where you want to send this file on your remote machine. Suppose if you want to send the file, I forgot to mention here a file name, friends, scp. After, you need to mention the file which you want to send. In this case, we want to send the file name is test1.py. as you can see, so command is what, sudo space scp space the file name which you want to send on your remote machine, then remote machine username, then @ then remote machine IP address, then shift colon, then where you want to send your file on your remote machine. So you need to mention that path. Suppose right now I want to send the file, this test1.py file, on my Ubuntu machine download folder. So where we have our download folder, if I run the ls command, so download folder is basically inside the /home/Freedom Tech. If I run the command cd downloads, right now we are inside the downloads folder. First let me clear the screen. Okay, so how to check the path? pwd command, and you will see this is what the path for the download. So I want to send this test1.py file on my remote Ubuntu machine inside the downloads folder. So I need to mention this full path, okay, /home/freedomtech downloads. So simply mention it here after the /home. This is what the remote machine folder path where you want to send the file, /home/freedomtech/downloads. Downloads. That's it. I'm going to make full screen. Sudo space scp is our command, then file name, then username of remote machine, then @, then remote machine IP address, /, and this is what the path where you want to send the file. Simply hit enter. It will ask you to enter your remote machine password. Means, as you can see, this is what the freedomtech @192.168.0.17. This is what our Ubuntu machine password. It asks us to enter the password. So simply mention the password, enter, and that's it. We have sent our file. If you go on your Ubuntu machine or any remote machine, so we have sent the file inside the downloads. If I run the ls command, as you can see, we have our test.py file. If I run the python 3 test1.py, hit enter, as you can see the hello world. So this is how you can send the file over the network using scp command. Simply you need to mention the command, then file which you want to send, then the username and the remote machine IP address, then the then the folders, not files, sorry, then the folders where you want to send the file. Okay, that's it. I hope clear how to send the file. Now friends, how to send the folder? Right now we only send the file, but we can send also folder on our remote machine. So how to send the folder? So I am going to create here a folder, sudo mkdir freedomtech1. This is what our folder, and inside that I am going to move this test1.py file. So let's just move it, sudo mv test1.py, and I am going to move inside the freedomtech1. So cd freedomtech1. If I run the ls command, as you can see, I have moved the file test1.py file inside the freedomtech1. Now clear the screen, cd, come out from the folder. So I just want to now send this freedomtech1 folder on our Ubuntu machine. So how to do this? And this time we are going to send on pwd /home/freedomtech. Okay, so how to send the folder? Simple, same command, sudo scp. Now friends, we want to send the folder. For that we need to mention here -r. Okay, sudo scp space -r. Then we need to mention the folder which we want to send, of course, freedomtech1 space, then same things, the username of our remote machine. So in case this is what our username of our Ubuntu machine, freedomtech, @IP address of our remote machine, so 192.168.0.107, and where we want to send, again we want to mention the path. So this time we are going to send inside the /home/freedomtech directory, /home/freedomtech. That's it. Just hit enter. It will ask us the password, mention the password of your remote machine, and that's it. We have sent the file, we have sent basically the folder. If you go here, if you run the ls command, as you can see, we have here a freedomtech1 folder. If I go inside the freedomtech1 and ls command, and this is what our test1.py file. So this is the way, friends, you can basically send your file folder with the help of scp command on remote machine. So I hope you will learn something from this video, and you also use the scp command for sending the files and folders to over the network. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.